everyone from around the whole world. Welcome to another episode of the Codex Podcast. I'm your host, Sonny Kruger, and with me as usual are my co-hosts, Jamie Wojcik and Tim Morse. They're saying hello for all you listeners out there. They're saying hello and waving to the cameras.
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? Finally, we brought Tim back from, death. We resurrected him.
The depths of apartment depression. I have returned. Thank you for allowing me back into the humble abode that is Codex.
Yes.
We're glad to have you back. We're glad Black Hand isn't messing you up, bringing you back to life anymore.
It's just his own hand.
Yeah, I've been cramping this one, and this isn't even the hand I usually use. So
that other hand
for typing.
Exactly, for typing.
It's a pretty strong hand. Exactly. But I must say, we got a good show on our hands. We got comic book news. We'll start off. We'll talk about that Moon Knight trailer. We're talking about
it was a great Wednesday.
A certain comic book selling for over $3 million. Get on to the show. We'll get onto that hashtag boycott WB with Ray Fisher versus Joss Whedon. And then we got On the Hunt. We got our works. We got topic of the week, which is what comic are you most anticipating in 2022? And finally, we'll be reviewing that book that Jamie is so excited about, Green Lantern Blackest Night. We've been talking about it and getting all ready, and now today we will finally review it.
Yes, thank the Lord, finally. Since Tim had to take his hiatus for doing Tim things to himself, I can't wait to actually review it. Well, hear your guys' review of this and then give mine as well.
I've been waiting for this. Is this like The Price is Right? I'll do 2.8. Yes, thank you.
2.6.
$1, please. $1.
You heard it, Jamie said 2.6.
Yes.
Green Lantern Blackest Night.
No, I was talking about that Moon Knight trailer that everyone saw.
That you loved so much. Tell us why you enjoyed that.
That was the worst thing I've seen ever. Like, I can't take it with the trailer. I gotta see the show, obviously. But who was that character? Moon Knight's never grew his own costume before. First off, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. That was the dumbest thing my head hurts trying to depict that right now. And Tim's like, I love it. Yay. No.
You are very passionate about this.
No, I am mad, dude. Like, and my dreams are hurting me because I'm seeing other versions of me. What? Okay, I'm done. Like, no, it does not. Moon Knight, he has alter egos to find out what's going on and stop the crimes.
All right, Tim, take it away then. I know you're excited about it.
Dude, okay, no, Tim, shut up. You don't talk right now. I'm still going.
Go ahead, Jamie. You got the floor right now.
The only good part about that whole thing was the Marlene call, which I could probably guess is Marlene calling him. But knowing how the trailer went, it's probably Mary Jane Watson or something, because they just ruined the whole trailer for me. They ruined Moon Knight. The costume's cool. I can't knock that. But to form on him like he's a Power Ranger from the new movie? What? Dude, like, I think this is the most upset I've been, and Morbius is coming out.
Ooh, maybe Morbius will appear. Make you even more excited for the show.
We had this brief conversation on our group chat on Facebook, and I think
my chest hurts.
You were just as passionate there. In the few words that you said, you were like, that was the worst thing I had ever seen. I was like, are you kidding me?
And I'm saying it as a depiction of what I've seen from the comics to they have, like, to me, they dropped the ball on who the character is in just this trailer. If I hope and I pray that it's in his head that it forms around him. I hope and pray that it's not dreams that is causing it. It's Khonshu, but what they gave us, like, you can't do him like that, man.
Okay. The tables are turned. You are usually the one that is gung-ho about a lot of this stuff, but this time around you absolutely think it's atrocious. I disagree. I thought that it was.
Of course you do.
Oh, I do. And I love Moon Knight. Moon Knight's my number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't watched Breaking the Code episode 1, Top 5 Heroes, go ahead and do that after this episode and you'll see why. Yeah, the trailer was good. I thought it did a really good depiction of alternate personalities, the schizophrenia side of Mark Spector. I will agree with you, Jamie, that the summoning the suit to appear on him thing, I kind of had an issue with because it's not what Moon Knight does. And when did Moon Knight have an accent? Anybody remember that? Because I don't. And I had an issue with that too. But beyond that, I thought that the trailer was very exciting. I thought we got to see a lot more of what was going on. We got to see the fractured mind of Mark Spector, Stephen Grant, Moon Knight, Khonshu, all that business. The costume, a better look at the costume, which looked wonderful. And that scene again where he was beating the snot out of whoever it was in the bathroom.
Like a monster.
Yeah. So I thought it was great. It made me even more excited for the show to come out at the end of March.
And it comes down to me. So I was.
I can go again.
Tell
him how wrong he is.
You asked me earlier. You said yay or nay, and I was like more nay for me.
I'm alone this week.
I'm not like I don't hate it. I'm not as passionate as Jamie is about it.
Right.
But I think I was expecting a little more of the action. I thought one of the other trailers kind of dealt with it, even though it was quicker. Like you said, dealing with the schizophrenia and everything. But I guess, like I said, I like the outfit. The outfit's great. Like I said, the part where he's beating up to me, it looks like, I'm just going to say a monster in the bathroom. But to me, I can almost see that as being like a dream sequence and it's very fast. And then I'm kind of wondering, I'm like, okay, it almost made me think, okay, is this going to be a show where it's more about him just as the person, it's Mark Spector, and not so much of Moon Knight, and we're going to barely see Moon Knight here, barely there.
Well, we've got what, like 6 episodes?
I think it's 6. Yeah.
6. Yeah.
My problem is, why isn't he a mercenary?
Well, Mark Spector's the mercenary.
Yeah, but that's one of his egos. Why isn't it shown?
Well, exactly. And they're not telling us everything.
Later.
Why isn't he driving a taxi like Jake Lockley?
Well, and
why
Stephen Grant is.
Why is he just depicted as Stephen Grant?
We don't know.
Maybe future episodes. Maybe that's I
hope each episode is a reason, and I just hate it more now.
Each episode is a different personality. That would be cool.
And then we get one for Blade.
Yeah, so I'm guessing. Yeah, each one is probably gonna wake up like, okay, this episode starts as Mark Spector. This episode starts as Stephen Grant. So, basically, I mean, it didn't give me too much. I was expecting this, and maybe like if I just saw like the regular, but I was excited for it. I was expecting more out of the trailer. So to me, it didn't get me more excited. I'm still just kind of even with it. Like, okay,
fair
for
enough.
March 30th, I do hope it lives up to more of Tim's hype as opposed to Jamie. Yeah.
I hope the best for it. I really do.
Yeah.
I hope I am completely wrong and I eat my own words when we come to the time that the first episode comes out. But if I don't, I'm gonna be even more mad, and I'm not gonna probably do the episode because you guys won't want me on it at that point.
Jamie is off today.
Jamie broke all of his webcam gear and podcasting gear, throwing a baby fit over the fact that they ruined Moon Knight for the whole world to see.
Well, you guys know that Moon Knight and Spider-Man have teamed up before, right?
Yeah, and it's been amazing.
I have one of the issues, but before we jump on to Spider-Man, I do have some bad news about the Moon Knight series. Is that one of the actors who is Gaspard Ulliel, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. He will be playing the part of Midnight Man. Has passed away at the age of 37 in an unfortunate skiing accident. So that's one thing that was really unfortunate. I did want to make sure to mention it on the show.
Yes, and that's a tragic passing because I know the character, and I wanted to see, obviously we're going to see what happens with him in the show, but now that we're not going to get him past this season is kind of upsetting, unless they recast. But in that type of sense, that's just do your due diligence on the character. We can't wait to see and move on.
Yeah. You want to see it, and those of you who are kind of more unfamiliar with the actor, one role he played big was he played the role of Hannibal Lecter in Hannibal Rising.
Yep.
And like I said, now in Moon Knight coming up, he will play the Midnight Man. And now Tim will eat.
Well, with the amazing Spider-Man, John Romita Jr. is going to make his triumphant return to the Amazing Spider-Man title. I'm pretty excited about this. JR does wonderful artwork. I don't think he does wonderful artwork all the time, but when he does his work on Spider-Man, he puts himself to a better standard, and I think some of his best work comes out of there. Amazing Spider-Man number 36, ladies and gentlemen, the tribute issue. That's wonderful artwork. His entire work and run on the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2 was fantastic. I'm excited for it. I think it's a great idea. It's wonderful to see him come back to a title he's familiar with and a character that he's very familiar with and loves.
Yeah, and the rumor behind that is he's starting with a whole new reissuing. So it's
it's going back to number 1. So this will be like volume 15.
Well, that's not confirmed at this point. It was just said that it could be a potential number 1 again.
I was seeing that it's scheduled to come out in April.
Okay, so I mean,
it's supposed to be a number 1.
Yeah, because I think they're trying to finish up the story arc now to end the current run, and then make it a number 1. But if they obviously, you know how Marvel is with their legacy numbering, so who knows? They might change back to legacy numbering.
With Romita coming in, though, that's the start of a brand new arc, right? Not just him taking over artwork.
I believe so. Yeah, so I would think it'd be a new number 1, or a legacy numbering again.
Yeah, because
you know how Marvel is; they don't know what they do. But no, I'm definitely excited for him. He's okay. We always talk about like, oh, what like character in your mind, like what actor or actress do you see when you think of this character? It's the same thing with artists like John Romita Jr. When you see his art, you know it's always going to be Spider-Man.
Well, his dad set the standard.
Yes.
On what John Romita Sr. was, I think, the second artist to work on Spider-Man. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
After Ditko.
Second.
Yeah.
But like it's like saying Hugh Jackman as Wolverine is like John Romita Jr. is drawing Spider-Man. You can tell. Like there's
Yeah, I like that for other work too, like when he did the Punisher, Warzone, and Daredevil too. But
that's Spider-Man iconic stuff.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it'd be great to have him back on the Amazing Spider-Man. See when that happens. But speaking of Spider-Man, this huge issue. Oh, Tim's got the shirt on right there. I see it.
I thought he was just blocking Hal Jordan's face even more.
No.
So the Secret Wars number 8. Sold for $3.36 million at an auction, and that is the part of Secret Wars that shows the origin of the symbiote suit. Guys, mention that $3.36 million for a comic issue that cost 75 cents.
Was that a Gem Mint 10?
That's my question, because I didn't get to look at that article.
I would hope.
If it's a 9.8, there's gonna be a lot of millionaires out there. Someone do some due diligence, do some research. I'm
gonna look this up.
Like who else became a millionaire?
Yeah, who else was a million? I mean, I've got a lot of comics. I don't think they're worthy, but they're maybe $100 they're worthy. Because I don't get anything graded, and that's my fault. But yeah, no, I mean, like we're just seeing the stock in comics go up, and it's crazy to think that like when we were younger and we were seeing these same comics go for like, oh, this is a $30 issue, and you're like, that's a lot of money. Now you're like $3.36 million. I'm good. Yeah. I don't. First off, whoever's paying that, kudos to you for having it. Like
I would hope they're at least a comic book fan and not just like super rich and like, hey, I guess I'll buy.
They're like, I got $4 million in my pocket. What can I buy?
So retraction. It's not the issue itself that sold. It is a page of artwork from Secret Wars number 8. That sold for $3.36 million.
Original artwork.
It's page 25 from issue 8 that sold for that much. Yeah. It started at $330,000 bidding and soared past $3 million. And it was done through Heritage Auctions. All this information I'm getting, guys, is from the New York Post.
Yeah, Heritage has always been one of those auctioneers for comics.
And if you can see it, well, you can't. Like that's the page. Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes it even more sense. That's the first black suit where we get to say it's the original artwork of it.
Now
here's 3.36 million.
To add on to that, just to give you guys an idea. So that one page of original artwork that Zek did sold for 3.36 million. The same day they sold one of the remaining copies out in the wild of Action Comics #1 that sold for 3.18 million. So yeah, busy day. None of the sellers or buyers were identified. No kidding.
But yeah, no, it's definitely with that artwork too. Like if you can get an original page out of something, you're looking at money right there. That's why I always I love commissions. Like I have a few, and it's just like, because you have original artwork then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing as having an awesome, comic by one of your favorite artists.
Yeah.
But now you have something that's either A, personalized, or if you could find their actual work of those pages, it's even better to me.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It'll be awesome. I'll be putting up some of my artwork for a starting bid of 2.5 million.
I will bid $1, ladies and gentlemen. Starting bid $1.
Is this a negative one? Because I'll go 50 cents.
I spit.
At
a bodega.
No.
$2, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaking of being upset, though, the man that we thought would never return to the Big Two, Mr. Ed Brubaker, announced he is now the head writer of Batman Caped Crusader, which is the Batman animated series that we've heard so much about that's coming back out. Guys, I don't know about you, but the man literally sat there and said, and has fought every company that he's worked for, aside from a couple indies, that he would never do work for him again and never write for him again. I get it's not a comic. I get it's a TV show and it's animated, but he's still writing for him.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So
money talks.
Yes, and I think that's exactly what happened. He was looking for that money before with him and the Winter Soldier and everything else. Now he's like, they're like, we'll give you X amount, and I feel like that's what it was. Like, we're gonna give you X amount, and he's like, or they're like, hey, you want to do it? No. How about for this much? And he's like, yes.
I wonder how much creative control he's going to have on the type of stories he can write, or is it going to be more of a writer's room with Brubaker as kind of
Brubaker's steering the boat.
Really? Okay.
Yes. We use that cliche there. He's manhandling that boat to the best.
Yeah, and still no release date for the series. It should be really good. I had to hear that it's supposed to have a total of 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be really good. But hopefully they give us a release date soon.
I have a trade of Brubaker's work on Batman out in the living room. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my list to work on. It's like volume 1 of the Ed Brubaker Batman stuff.
Yeah. Well, just to let you guys know, they're also releasing an omnibus of him with Captain America this year.
Really?
The one they never were able to release because he didn't want them to. Because there's so many first appearances and everything else in that storyline that he's like, no, and now finally they're doing it.
See, and I
think it's like almost, I think it's a thick boy. I think it's like the X-Men one Sonny's got behind him.
Yeah.
See,
and that's a whole nother conversation about compensation, due compensation to creators for creating these characters that then show up in video games, movies, television shows, et cetera, and instead of Marvel and DC giving creators, for lack of a better word, consolation gifts for creating these characters that they use, personal opinion only, and then I'll move off of that. I think that they should be compensated the way they need to be,
or at least to a fair extent, like having it in the contract as you're doing it. Like, hey, if you're going to create a character, this is your royalty standards for the first year.
Right, exactly. But the thing is that a lot of these guys, when they work for the Big Two, especially, it's work for hire. So anything that they create under DC or Marvel, yes, they'll get their artwork created by so and so and so and so, but it belongs to the company. It doesn't belong to them.
Yeah, I fully agree with that one.
But talking about what belongs to the company, let's talk about Batgirl and Leslie Grace.
No, she belonged to me. No.
Oh, Leslie Grace.
She's a free woman.
She does what she wants.
The first look of Batgirl. Personal opinion, I think she looks great. I think the costume looks great. I think, and somebody said this on Facebook the other day in one of the comic groups I'm on, that fanboys being fanboys, and this guy was like, this guy was like, what are you all complaining about? That is the most comic book accurate costume that we've seen in years. It looks perfect, and it does. She's wearing the construction boots, she's got the getup,
it's purple,
everything. Yes, all she needs to do now is pull out a cell phone and take a selfie
and get shot by the Joker. It'll work out perfectly.
Exactly. It looks great. The only thing that I am unsure of is which Commissioner Gordon's daughter is she? Is she
J. Jonah Jameson?
Is it? J.K. Simmons?
Yeah. J. Jonah Jameson.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't think of his name, so I just went with that.
So this Batgirl ties in.
Is J.K. Simmons though? That's who played J. Jonah Jameson.
Okay, yeah.
That's why I was like, I was thinking about it. I'm just like, I just blurted it out because I couldn't think of the words.
Then I mean, it doesn't matter. It looks good. There's a group I follow on Reddit. r/DCEU leaks, guys, you know who you are. And there's all kinds of pictures on there that show Keaton's Batman and Robin in there too. So this is going to be something that's good. It looks great. She looks great. The costume looks wonderful. People just find things to complain about to complain.
Tim, you basically took the words right out of my mouth. I completely agree with everything like you were saying. She looks great. The outfit looks great. I'm really excited for it. I'm really glad to see that, like you said, how it's so close to comic book accurate. And then you said there's always going to be people who complain, have little complaints. So not much to me. I have no complaints about it.
All those people that are complaining are going to be in line like everybody else to buy tickets to sit there and watch it and complain about it afterwards, and then go see it again.
Right, because they loved it so much. And I mean, I can't really complain about it too much. It wasn't Moon Knight, but it literally, like, from the stills I've seen, looks great.
Yeah.
You guys got to think too. Titans season 3 ended, and it had Barbara Gordon was an amputee, a legitimate amputee actress.
So Oracle, all that stuff. That's amazing.
She and Oracle is not Oracle, which it worked out perfect. The story driven wise, it worked out good. I like that take, but
Oracle right here on my headset,
and like just the way they had her was great. Like I thought it was gonna be horrible because I'm like, why you got amputee? I don't have any problems with it. I'm like, but why that choice? And then when I saw what happened, I understood 100%, and I was like, okay, this is probably she never suited up, but they got to the point where she was going to, and then kind of drove the opposite direction.
See, the thing is though, is that what people have to understand is like with Titans, treat it like an Elseworld story, because that's exactly what it is. And then with the DCEU stuff, that's canon as far as DC extended universe stuff goes, but it's not canon as far as comic books go. If you want the comic book accurate version of Barbara Gordon as Batgirl, go read the comic books. But if you want to watch what Warner Brothers is putting out on screen, then go watch that.
Hashtag boycott WB. Warner Brothers. Not for me, but that is the next topic. Is the people have been saying the hashtag boycott WB is going around after actor Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg in Justice League, has been going on plenty of tangents on Twitter against Joss Whedon, and it's been a lot. I don't know what these guys are.
I don't know either. I'm just doing stuff.
But yeah, so we got two going against each other, and there's been a lot against Joss Whedon. Ray Fisher has said that his comments have been mean. That he felt that some of the scenes were taken out. He was believing saying it was because of race. But now more people are jumping on board too. We had Gal Gadot, who was saying that she had a problem, didn't like Joss Whedon the way he worked. Before Ben Affleck had said that working on Justice League was a horrible experience. And now there's even more. Some actresses from the cast of Buffy, including Sarah Michelle Gellar, were also saying that Joss Whedon, that his behavior was really inappropriate and that he was really mean. And even somebody on Firefly, I was reading something that they mentioned a story that.
Oh yeah, I read about that one too.
Cry. Yeah, he made a writer cry. They said for like he went on like a 90-minute tangent, like making fun of their writing.
Yep.
So now
That
with all
happened.
these stories coming out, people are putting hashtag boycott WB because Joss Whedon is still there. And yeah, so it's been a lot. Even to Joss Whedon, one thing he said I thought was kind of funny. Like, man, to me, I think he's digging himself his hole even deeper. When he
Yes.
tried to say about Gal Gadot, oh, I think it was a language barrier thing.
Yeah, communication issue.
And then
she just didn't understand English very well. And she's like, no, I understood him perfectly. I knew what he was saying.
Yeah,
and then you got Ray Fisher. He was saying about Ray Fisher. What do you call it? Oh, he's just a bad actor. That was one of the main things he said. He's like, how's that guy gonna make fun of me? He's just a bad actor. Like, that's why he's not getting any work.
Movie.
Yeah, he's not gonna find any work because he's just a bad actor. And I'm like, I might not like this whole fight back and forth, but you can't really just go out and be like, first off, it's a language barrier. You should know how to work with your people. Second off, if you're gonna sit there and say you're a bad actor, why not recast him?
She speaks better English than a lot of people in this country do.
Me knows English well.
She understands English very well. She knows how to speak English, and she's more fluent than 10% of the population in this country. So to say that she doesn't understand is mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, and anybody who knows Gal Gadot could literally just type in right now Gal Gadot interview, and you're going to see tons of interviews that she's giving in English. So there's proof that she knows English and she speaks it fluently. The only way she'd be able to say is because I believe she is Israeli, right? I believe she's from
yes,
yeah. As if he tried to say, "Oh, I was trying to speak Hebrew," but I really doubt he was trying to speak Hebrew. I really am guessing that the conversation.
Can you just imagine Joss Whedon trying to speak Hebrew? Like that. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, but it's not good.
No, not one bit.
Here's my opinion on this. Ray Fisher had legitimate concerns and legitimate criticisms to bring out as far as his treatment on the set of Justice League and the subsequent attempt to sweep it under the rug by Warner Brothers. And the entire debacle that took place after that. A lot of people say that Ray Fisher's career now is just lambasting Warner Brothers, and that's all he's ever going to do. I disagree with that. I thought he was very good as Cyborg. I thought that his take on Cyborg was excellent and well-deserved. And now with Joss Whedon and the things that are being said there, okay, Joss Whedon, with the things that he's achieved and the things that he's done, that does not give him the right to treat people the way that he allegedly has treated them on set. Gal Gadot being one of those, Ben Affleck being another. There's no reason to do that. Those actors, all of the actors on that set knew what they were doing. They knew how to do their jobs. And Joss Whedon's job is to direct them and get the type of performance out of them that he would like to see on screen. And he didn't do that because he turned all these people sour towards him. Gal Gadot with the language issues and the language barriers, which is absolutely ridiculous. And Ben Affleck swearing off playing superheroes or Batman ever again because of his experience on Justice League. And now, like you said, Sonny, with people from the set and crew of Firefly and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I mean, come on, man. That you can't sit there and say that it was a perfect, like Joss Whedon said, something along the lines of it was a perfect storm of all these bad things happening at once. And now the internet is attacking me. And I just don't understand why. Well, Joss, it may be because you're a big jerk and nobody likes you. And they're pointing that out now and telling the world about your antics and the way that you do things. Now, his work on Avengers, no Marvel stars have come out and said anything negative about
that's under contract. They're not allowed to say anything about Marvel, though.
Possibly. But his work on Age of Ultron, that's a whole nother story. So it's like you said, Sonny, he's just digging himself down deeper. I believe that Joss Whedon's career is over. I don't think that he's going to do anything else from here on out. He was attached to Batgirl for a short time. Obviously, he's not attached to that anymore. But this is far from over. Ray Fisher has a lot more to say, and Joss Whedon, I don't think, has anything to say that people will listen to.
Well, go ahead, Sonny.
With Ray Fisher, like I said, at least now a lot of people have been backing up against Joss Whedon, but now he has been going out saying that more people were inappropriate and were not being professional.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the people he even said was racist was a man we're happy to be a big fan of, and it's Geoff Johns' work. You say Geoff Johns, so now I almost do want to say, I don't know what happened. Obviously, none of us were there.
Mm-hmm.
You do kind of wonder, like, okay, it seems like Joss was bad. We have a lot of people, but now you wonder, like, is he going to start saying a lot of people? Then he did say the race thing. Like, I think they cut my scene out because of the race. Maybe not. I'm not in their heads.
Well, I will say this. I will say this. A lot of buzzwords get thrown around a lot, and people attach words to certain things that don't necessarily mean those things. You know what I mean? So this is a hot topic and a sensitive topic, but calling somebody racist that isn't actually racist doesn't mean that they are. You know what I mean? If Joss Whedon is racist, racism is one person hating someone for the color of their skin. If Joss Whedon did that to Ray Fisher, that is deplorable. That is disgusting, and that is horrendous, and he should be chastised for that. And if Geoff Johns, as good of a writer as he is, did the same thing to Ray Fisher, went after him or did things against him because of the color of his skin, again, that is something that you absolutely should be chastised for.
Agreed.
But on the other end of that coin, if you're just throwing out those terms, racist, bigot, yada yada, et cetera, just to get people upset, then you in turn should be chastised for that, because you're using these buzzwords the wrong way.
Yeah. Nicely put, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Very. No, my point would I want to make with the whole thing, and I'll end it after this.
Yeah.
Is the fact that, okay, so you're going to sit there and say that Geoff Johns, whatever he may have said about him, the guy has been on every single production that he's been involved with the character on, from Green Lantern to Titans to animated shows to movies to series. I think I saw his name on Peacemaker. I don't think it's part of it.
Geoff Johns?
I think it's at the end. He's like executive.
Sponsor us, please. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. As you hear the slurp. But he's been a part of like everything as a writer, or like some type, like Watchmen, I believe he's even on. His name's in there. On
the show? I believe so.
Yeah. If that man sat there and told me how to do something because it's based on that character, I would listen to that man. If Joss Whedon came in, which this is my last take on this, but like I said, who literally got handed the script for the movie by the guy who did it before him. All he had to do was come in and finish it. Like, Snyder had the movie almost done.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon just had to come in, and then all of a sudden there's like 18 reshoots.
Well, yeah, because Whedon wanted his vision on it.
Exactly.
Not Snyder's.
Exactly. You were handed the ball. All you had to do is just lay it up. And he tried to dunk it, and he got rejected at the rim. Sorry for the basketball terms, everybody, but I had to do something here.
I have been handed a basketball, but I want a volleyball instead. Let's change this.
Can I get a hockey puck? Like that's how I felt like it was.
Can I dunk this for a touchdown?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go sports team.
Yeah, but speaking of Geoff Johns, he is returning to DC to write again, but this time in form of Flashpoint Beyond. And I cannot wait. I already told my comic shop if they do not have this on there, I am going to go to another comic shop, but they always have my stuff, so I can't really get mad at them. Yeah, I can't wait. He wrote Flashpoint. It was brilliant. I think they're just trying to restart the DC universe as it is right now, because there's a lot of books that are still part of the Rebirth line that happened like 6 years ago that got dragged all the way to this point, and there's some books that they've redone and reissued, renumbered, new adventures, different characters. I feel like from Flashpoint Beyond, it's gonna end up being another reboot at the end.
Another reboot.
But with Geoff Johns at helm here, like he did with Rebirth, I don't want to hear about the reboot thing. Marvel reboots every 60 days.
I know.
It's like a bad
So does
antivirus
DC.
software. they do like every 5. So we're due for one.
I'm just gonna reset here.
Yeah, just Control Delete. We're good. But with them, it's like you can actually do something. Like you got a writer that can restart it. Use them.
Well,
and he does a good job with it.
The thing is, though,
and still keep some things in continuity.
Like with this, like let's take New 52 for example. Like when they were doing this, the company-wide rebooted New 52, which titles said absolutely not. That was Green Lantern and Batman. Those guys were like, nope, we're not going to do that. Our stories are going to continue, but we'll squeeze you in what we're doing. See, it only works if everybody's on board. And Geoff Johns, as far as his writing goes, I think he has a wonderful vision for the direction he wants the DC universe to go, like Jim Lee did with New 52, which was a bumpy road. But if they can do it right and they reset it and use Flashpoint as a way to do that again, that's fantastic. That's a great way to do it. But stick to it this time and just let it work itself out. Let the people get into these stories and don't cancel series after 10 issues.
Yeah, and that's all based on certain things. I mean, there's certain variables that you can't control.
That's very true.
You can't. New 52 is a great example of that. There's a lot of good that came out of New 52, which people always bash New 52 about.
Resurrection Man.
Exactly. Talon, Court Owls.
Hawkman.
Yeah, exactly. But with another reboot, I'm saying it right now. I'll call it. I'm confirming myself it's a reboot because obviously.
I'll take that to the bank though. You seem pretty confident in it.
I am very confident it's going to be another reboot. But at the same time, it's like he knows how to write it. When he wrote for Rebirth stuck around. Like we still have Rebirth going into now with Batman and other titles. Like, but then they have certain ones that didn't work out. They redid it, and now we got to kind of combine everything back together again. We're trying to hold it, and the fish are jumping out the bowl is basically it.
Because wasn't Rebirth like allowing creators to use iterations of the characters from anywhere across?
Yeah, because all of them were
spectrum.
supposed to forget.
Yeah,
because that's when Wally West came back. It has a whole other deal.
Yeah.
So
Sonny,
you guys are taking it away. Yeah,
sorry.
Letting you guys talk, no problem. But it should be good. And actually, Jamie, I do agree with you. It does seem like at the end they're going to kind of redo everything again, almost like the first one. And then the first Flashpoint issue 0 is supposed to be a 48-page comic and scheduled to come out April 6th. And then Flashpoint Beyond issue number 1 is scheduled to come out April 19th.
Happy birthday to me.
That'll be on my pull list. Happy birthday, Jamie.
For my birthday. Almost.
It's between mine and yours.
Close, yeah. It's close to ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that should be good. And then it's a huge event. I wonder, is it maybe even going to possibly be the biggest DC event of the year? I mean,
I'm sure it will be.
Get any bigger than that?
We'll see, unless they say that. Wait a minute.
Dark Knights of Steel.
We're on issue. No, wouldn't work. Okay, never mind. I was thinking. I'm like, wait a minute. Dark Knights of Steel is on issue 3. I'm like, how many months away are we from April?
See, you've got some information on Dark Knights of Steel that you refuse to share.
Yes, because I don't want to get in trouble.
I'm more interested. How did you get this info?
Because the people I'm friends with at my comic shop got the info from a publisher, and they also got the trade before everybody else.
We're gonna have a nice long conversation after the.
I can't. This is like the Daryl Banks thing. You're never gonna know. Sorry, boys.
Should be good.
We're on the hunt for it.
Yeah, on the hunt. So, guys, I think that takes us out of comic book news. Hey, we said we had a lot of news today, and now we go on the hunt. I'll start us off. I'm on the hunt for the Kane the Conqueror one-shot Timeless. I'm looking for it, and right now the price is going up, especially since it is the first comic appearance of Miss Minutes. And I don't know if you guys have seen
Yes.
the Miss Minutes cover, the variant cover with Miss Minutes on it. It's already selling for over $100
Yeah,
on
they're-
eBay.
That's ridiculous.
They're out. And most of the people are like, anyone that's like pre-orders are done. Like they can't.
I'm very curious if I go to my local comic shop and see if my guy's got the timeless variant. I'll see if he has it. Maybe
I'll
I can
check
get it
too.
for cover price.
Yeah, I looked at it. I went to a comic store. I actually went to one in person, and I was not happy. It was very unorganized. I didn't
We
find
had that
Dark Ages
conversation.
4. Yep. So I had to go home. I had to buy Dark Ages 4. Like, oh, we didn't even have Timeless. They knew they didn't have Timeless. Then I went home. I was like, okay, I'll just buy it. And that was when I realized that it.
Yeah, I'm
the
not
price
buying
is
it.
it's going up. So like I said, I'm on the hunt for
It'll
a decent
go
price
down.
to get it. There was a bid. It was the regular, the King, the Conqueror cover, the usual, like the main
Mhm.
one, and then the one with Miss Minutes, and it was like, I forget, it's like $1 starting bid, and then like $4 shipping and handling. So okay, I'm putting some money on it. I did, and within hours, somebody way more. The next day, way more.
I'll bid $5
yeah.
on this. No one will
So
overbid me.
Yeah, so it's already over 100. I don't know how. So I'm looking all over, and actually they're already doing second printings of Timeless with other alternate variant covers. One is with the Punisher with his new logo, and want to see his robe. But yeah, so I'm on the hunt for Timeless. What about you guys? Anything you're on the hunt for?
I am still looking for an Uncanny 266 first appearance of Gambit. I'm looking for one in my price range, which is definitely lower than what a lot of other people want to sell theirs for. I'm also trying to finish up Deathlock Volume 2. I think I need the last 2 issues, and I'm trying to find those because they go for a little more than I want to pay for them. So I'm trying to find them in dollar bins and things like that. So far, no luck. But those are the ones that I'm still kind of sniffing around for.
Yeah. As for me,
Looking for that Green Lantern one.
that one I am. But I redid my sites a little bit. I'm working on New 52, finishing that whole series, like the whole 2,000 books up. I'm about more than halfway done with it. And I finally decided that after this, I'm gonna work on a Marvel series, a whole universe series, and that's the Ultimates.
Ooh,
I'm gonna do the whole Ultimate line next after New 52. So
that's amazing.
Just every alternate or every ultimate or
every
specific?
Ultimate series. Every Ultimate series. Like New
There's
52,
a lot of good stories in there.
Yeah.
and the same thing with New 52. A lot of people don't realize is like
Yeah.
there's a lot of good stories if you just paid attention. A lot of
Yeah.
good writers came from there.
If you just take it as what it is, which is an alternate take, a more updated version of characters we know and love, they're not going to be the same. They're going to be different.
And that's the thing. Ultimate Universe is just that. It's the same
Mhm.
take on a certain character. They're just different. It's
Yeah.
a different universe.
Yeah.
It's not the 616. It's the Ultimate Universe. And I just remember always getting like Ultimate X-Men and finding Ultimate
Mhm.
Spider-Man because that's the era I grew up in.
Yeah.
Like, and now I was like, you know what? I really don't want to do too much with Marvel. And because I still get a lot of books from Marvel, but
Mhm.
I don't get, I'm picky about what I picked up when it comes to Marvel. But like now I'm like, definitely gonna start working on the Ultimate series because that's something that I can actually grasp and have at hand. You know,
Agreed. I've got some Ultimate stuff. I've got the first Ultimate Spider-Man.
I messed up and I bought the first appearance of Miles Morales when I was at a convention 2 years ago, and I was like, all right, now I need the rest of it so I can read it.
Well, at least you got that first appearance, so that alone is good. And later on in time,
the dude didn't know what he had. He was selling it for $15 at the time, and I think it was right before Into the Spider-Verse came out. So before it went big, I picked up the issue.
Little bit of Twitter news here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hang on, don't start because that's what I was trying to tell you during when Sonny was talking. You don't get to do that. That's why I said, look. That's why I was like, look at your phone.
Oh, I see.
And you're like, you're telling me to put my phone down.
I don't know what he's talking about.
So no, you don't get to break it. I am.
Oh, okay,
that's what you guys are doing.
Yes, because he was telling me do stuff. Now he's like, oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. No, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Wait till the next segment. Jeez.
I'm a dealer. I wash my hands.
But back to what I was saying. Yes, my on the hunt is continuing with Marvel after New 52 is done.
That's good. And that is On the Hunt. Hopefully, boys, hopefully we get all those comics we want soon. And for not so much money, you know.
Right?
Yeah, no.
But
I always try to find the deals.
Yeah. I'm always saying one of those times out. I got a deal today. I got more comics in. I got a deal.
And honestly, that's why I love the comic convention so much, because they'll give you the full series.
Well, I just got
kind of price.
I just got a Teen Titans Volume 2, number 1, signed by Dan Jurgens. Got the Dynamic Forces certificate. Won that on eBay for 99 cents.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I think it's $99 for 99 cents.
Well, plus the shipping, which was like $5. So I guess I paid $5 for it.
Not bad at all.
No.
Yes, it's sometimes you get lucky and you get those deals.
Yep.
But now to talk about our works.
Okay, I'm going into this real fast before we get into anything else, because I need to get this out of the way.
Go on.
For those of you that wanted to hear my little rant that I just had on Tim there, during the middle of our show, our comic news, we did drop the A.L. Kaplan one shot today that Tim was so gracefully allowed to do with him. And he actually just tweeted out about it and showed some artwork he's been working on as a part of his one shot.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah. So when I mouth things that, Spotify can't see to you guys, don't just tell me to shut up.
Take a wild guess how many impressions there are right now.
7.
907.
Oh,
I was right.
I would say 500 something.
7 was in there. But yeah,
how much you say? 907?
907 for the one shot with A.L. Kaplan.
Yeah. So go ahead, Sonny. We'll get into our stuff as soon as you're done. I just wanted to get that out of the way because somebody was being rude.
Well, since we're on it, I'll start off with you guys and then we'll switch and then go back to
okay.
me. So my co-hosts did a great job this week of doing these one shots. So A.L. Kaplan and with Daryl Banks. I'll let you guys take it away and tell us about it.
So I'll cover Kaplan. You go ahead and cover Daryl.
Yes.
So yeah, with one shots, guys, if you have not seen those yet, go ahead and check them out. Sonny did our first one shot with Casey Gilly, who is the writer on Buffy the Last Vampire Slayer. Jamie and I did episode 2 with the immortal Daryl Banks. You guys know him as one of the artists for that guy behind me. And then our third one that came out today was with the artist for Maw, a Boom Studios title, and that is our episode number 3. Guys, these episodes are wonderful. It's one question to a creator, and we give them the floor to answer as long as they need to. And it's wonderful to sit there and have a conversation like that with people. Daryl Banks was a great one, and that was an absolute treasure to do. A.L. Kaplan was wonderful and absolutely fantastic to sit down and talk with. It was a great time, and you get to learn things. And I think we decided in the beginning that these were not going to be the typical, do you know questions or
who's your inspiration?
What was your inspiration? What got you to put pen to paper? No, it's the lesser known questions that they don't get asked as often, but there's a wealth of information. So yeah, it's wonderful, guys. If you haven't seen it, check it out. You absolutely need to.
Yeah, all of them. They've all been great. And now, Jamie, I know you. I saw you were nervous. But it wasn't
the nurse. But first, before we get into that, A.L. Kaplan did also post and tag us on his Instagram. He gave us a new look at one of the characters from Maw.
Ooh.
So that looks awesome. Thank you again. He also showed part of the interview in it. So that was very, very kind of him. Thank you, A.L. I watched the raw footage and the edited stuff. And it was amazing. But back to why I'm so excited and why I fanboyed out so bad. We had Daryl Banks on. And for those that don't know, I am a big Kyle Rayner fan. And he is the creator of Kyle Rayner along with Ron Mars. And it was just to hear that man speak about what his favorite moment in comics was, like what his favorite issue or like what meant the most to him. And him picking Unholy Alliances was just, a shot
It was
in the dark.
unexpected. Like I was fully expecting Emerald Twilight, and he's like, nope, it's gonna be this one.
Yeah, and the funny thing was, I even said on there, I was like, I knew that one was in the running. Like, I knew that was probably going to be one of them, but I didn't want to say it. But the reasons he gave, I couldn't. You can't fight. How often are you going to be able to draw the character you created next to Silver Surfer
and Galactus?
Yes.
Yeah.
On top of that, and it was just great. I was a little nervous at the beginning, and then once he started like talking, we had back and forth. It was just like talking to like here. It was a great time, and he made room for us after the fact. Talk. He's like, I saved some room. He's like, we're like, we only needed like 5 to 15 minutes of your time,
and we took that time, by God, and we talked about some other things too. We had a question that shall remain nameless.
Yep,
and we talked a lot about football too.
Yes, a lot about football and a lot about just his art style. Like that was just what he was working on, what he was doing. He went more into detail about it. It was great. Yeah,
it was awesome. It was a great conversation.
You guys got a 12-minute one shot of a 45-minute conversation.
But it was great. Both you guys did a really good job. So I was proud of you guys. I was happy to watch it, and see, like I said, both guests did really good. And I said it's interesting with the one shot how it's one question and it brings forward a nice conversation too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And definitely even after, like I've noticed that a lot of the creators that the 3 creators we've had so far, they've even they like talking even after the fact. Like that was actually a relief. Like that.
Well, when I talked to Kaplan, we ended up talking for a good 10 minutes after the official one shot was done. Just talking, just shooting it, and just this and that and whatever. It was awesome. It was great.
Right. And I can't thank all these guys and girls enough that have come on and done these one shots with us. It's been a blast so far to see and to do, to edit, to schedule, trying to figure out who's going to take what. I was taking Daryl Bates no matter what. You guys didn't have a choice. I didn't care if I had to do it by myself. But yeah, no, I if you guys watch the episode or issue 2 of One Shots, you'll see me completely fanboy out the entire time. And my mouth, because what was it? This is an unedited part, but he was like, "Oh, cool background to Tim," because he had Kyle Rayner in the background, and I was like, "I got you on my wall, man."
It was where Hal Jordan had all the rings on his fingers.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
Issue 49, I think.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm like, dude, I got you on my wall, like.
Don't talk to Tim, talk to me.
Yeah, how dare you address him? That's how I felt.
It was great, and we look forward to having more one shots. And so the views, the numbers
going up.
They're doing pretty good. Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty good. Yeah. And comments and everything.
We got some more good news, which we'll be talking about later when we get some scheduling stuff done. But just be, on the lookout for some special podcast episodes, I want to say.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So that's gonna be a big thing, and it's just gonna be a lot more fun. And we just keep growing, guys. So keep watching. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, big things for Codex. And also there's a new Decoding Panels episode that came out. Dark Ages number 3. Very good.
Yeah. Honestly, that was great. My favorite one, I think my favorite one so far I've done that I've actually worked on was Dark Knights of Steel so far.
The first one?
Yes.
Dude, I love that. That whole episode was good.
Yes. Dark Ages 3 was great too. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not knocking it. So the next one that is going to come out, Punisher Circle of Blood issue 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sonny, you're gonna love my jigsaw in there. That was the most fun I ever had doing Decoding.
And then we're gonna do the 5 episodes of that, and then the full story, and then we're gonna get back to the normal, fun, regular scheduled Decoding Panels.
So I'm looking forward to much more.
Yeah, I think you'll dig it. I had a lot of fun doing that. I think I had the neighbors banging on the wall one day when I was doing recording. I was like,
because he's like, you hear this and you hear poof, poof, poof.
I was like, I can't record anymore tonight. I think it was like 10:30 or 11 at night. And that's when I was able to get the work done. And
he's just screaming.
It was one of the Jigsaw scenes, and I'm screaming and yelling, talking about killing and murdering and shit like that. And boom, boom, boom. Jamie, I can't do any more tonight.
You hear this, and I hear boom, boom, boom. I'm like, yeah, dude, you might want to stop for tonight before they call the cops.
I think you're killing somebody for real.
Yeah. Right?
Like, stop touching him.
Don't you talk to me like that, Frank Castle.
I wish someone would write that better for Frank Castle.
God. Well,
It'll be coming up soon and looking forward to it, guys. And like we were saying, with Decoding Panels, all the numbers going up for the one-shots. Some of my work, the numbers have been going up, I'm glad to say. Finally, for I'll start with my books. For Tied Up, it has reached past 4,600 views.
Nice.
It is my most viewed book, and the numbers have been rising. So I always like to see that with any of my books. I'm like, hey, anyone that makes it, I'm happy for it. I believe in all my stories. I put my heart and soul into all my work. So if one happens to make it first, good for that one. And then my story, To Be Alive and Desired, last year, I think it was around like August. I'm trying to remember if I released around August.
Didn't you break like 900 or something at one point with that one?
Yeah, one weekend in September had 900 views alone. And then suddenly, the views started to go down, but you were still getting some. And then I was stuck. The book was stuck at like a little over 1,700 views for months. And then suddenly this month, it passed 1,800. So I said, okay, we're good. We passed 1,800.
Now we got to get 2,000.
Let's try to get 2,000 by the end of the month. And a week later, we passed 1,900. And right now we are at last I checked today, 1971.
Awesome, dude. Like
almost at the 2,000 mark.
Congrats for that. I am overly happy for you on those
Thank
numbers. You. Like now, if you could just generate those numbers on our channel, it would be so much better.
Well, I've been doing some stuff for the show too.
Oh no, definitely. It's been looking good, dude. Like everything everyone's making their part, and it's just beautiful to see. I just want what's the series about? A series at now? Because last time I checked, it was at like 7 or I think
so
700.
Almost at 800.
Yes. Okay. So I was in the ballpark. See, I do keep track of everything.
So thank you. Yeah. And then to promote definitely our podcast, I've been doing some interviews on some other podcasts.
Yes.
I've been being interviewed. One I did. It was mainly talking about my dog / brother Dexter, and it was on. Sorry, I was at the dog park. Hoping that gets released soon. It doesn't have a release date yet, but they're hoping that it comes out this month. And of course, always mention that we got a podcast, the Codex podcast.
Why not?
And also, the other day I was on a podcast called Music History on a High Note, and it mainly goes over music, but also sometimes a bit of comic book stuff, a bit of Marvel, the MCU. So I'm your guy.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we were talking about that, and I had a very fun time on that interview as well. That one went. The dog one about Dexter was quick, like maybe 8 minutes. And then this one, the one I did yesterday on Music History on a High Note, was maybe around like 40 minutes or something. It was talked a bit about music, a lot about Marvel, the MCU. So I had to make sure, like, when I was asked about the Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm like, on the Codex podcast, we had a whole episode about that. And then somehow I was able to pull it off, and we started talking about a series. I always gotta.
You always got to plug a plug.
Segue into it.
It's a plug about a plug.
Stuff. Yeah. So we did that, and that episode, Music History on a High Note, the special episode is set to come out somewhere, hopefully over the weekend. It might be a little bit later, but who knows? And I'm very happy that I'm being interviewed on some podcasts, and get to talk about, our stuff,
definitely.
and get to promote the Codex podcast.
Yeah. Definitely when those come out, let me know so I could, put the links down below so they can go check them out. And then if they can do the same going towards us, that'd be amazing.
Oh, they were. So both times asked for all the handles. So I was giving it out.
Oh, cool.
I remember that even to remember to say twitch.tv/Codex podcast.
Ooh, it only took you 31 episodes to actually get it in one shot.
So see, I got it all memorized. I've learned.
I can see Sonny in front of the mirror. Twitch.tv/Codex.
Got it wrong. Do it again.
Why do I keep saying Code Z? I don't understand.
Yeah, the Code Z. Maybe there'll be a return of that.
Maybe in a future episode.
Possible.
All right. But it is our works, and we'll have more next week, and hopefully some good numbers for all of our works, for the Codex podcast, for One Shots, for my books, everything. Hopefully all our numbers go up. Okay, next week we'll be back with more our works. And now we go to the topic of the week, which is, what comic are you most anticipating in 2022? And as usual, in no particular order, Jamie has the top 3 comics.
And at first, we have Dan Kelly saying, I'm looking forward to the new She-Hulk book that's coming out this year. We got James Thompson with Flashpoint Beyond. And then we got Brian Whitson with Batman Beyond the White Knight.
Yeah.
All great answers, guys. Thank you guys again for, giving your shout outs and letting us know what you guys think. As always, throw your comments down below. Let us know what you guys are most anticipating this year. So guys, what do you guys think? What are you guys waiting for?
Well, yeah, that Batman Beyond the White Knight. That's a good pick, but I still have some catching up to do with White Knight. So the most one I'm actually anticipating is when it comes out next month, and that is a one shot, and that is one we've mentioned a bit on the show, and it is the Secret X-Men one shot. Like I said, I've been up to date with that. I've been keeping my eye on it. It's all the characters X-Men who didn't make the team from the voting that was going on last year.
And the winner was Polaris for that one.
Yep, Polaris won it. So this is everybody who lost, like Forge, Banshee, Strong Guy. So I'm excited to see.
Forge is such an underrated X-Man.
Agreed.
So underrated.
All of them are overrated.
But he's underrated.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm excited to, like I said, one shot and two, because I usually go with the older X-Men stuff every now and then and read something new. Like Jamie, remember you did recommend that we reviewed X-Men Worst X-Men Ever, but with the new continuity, I'm a bit behind, so it'll be a lot of catching up to do. So that's why it's nice to have a one shot just to read it in the whole thing in one story. So I'm looking forward to Secret X-Men. How about you guys? Tim? What about you?
I am obviously looking forward to the Amazing Spider-Man with JR coming back, and whether they do it as a number one or continuation with whatever volume and numbering they're on right now, either way, I don't care. I'm excited about that. Brubaker doing Batman, I'm excited about that, even though that's not a comic book. But Flashpoint, I'm excited about that too. And yeah, I want to finish Dark Knights of Steel. That's still ongoing.
Yeah, that's technically this year.
Yeah, that doesn't end until well into the summer. Dark Ages needs to finish, and I am biting my nails off waiting for that to come out. This 6 issues, and it's so darn
feels like
good.
It's taking forever.
God almighty.
But get away.
Power Rangers, we're in the middle of the Altarian War right now, and that
both issues just dropped out. One last week, and then yours this week.
Dude, that is such an epic storyline, and I'm waiting to see what's going on with that. You and I, Jamie, have read Power Rangers Universe, and though it was a little bit confusing, maybe a little difficult to follow, that's one that I think I'm going to stick with just to see where it goes and how it ties into everything. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not.
You caught me, didn't you? I was trying to be slick and quickly grab my.
I'm sorry for those
that
caught me. the spot, they can't see this on Spotify. We're talking, and I just look down on the screen. And I see Sonny slowly just comb his hair.
I'm looking at you while I'm talking. I didn't even see it.
I did that, and I seen Sonny's hand, so I was like, squirrel, and looked down. And I just see. Like he didn't move, like he didn't blink or move his head. All you saw was the comb.
I was using the camera to see the angle and everything, and I was like, okay, let me just be quiet.
That's why we're at.
Oh my
Jamie
God.
Dude, no, it was I wasn't gonna say anything. I was not.
I saw you laughing, so I'll bring it up.
I did kind of I giggled for a minute, and then I looked down, you're like, you caught me, didn't you? Yes. Yes, I did.
Hey, it's the fun of the show, right?
Yes. Oh,
Jamie, what are you looking forward to?
It's my turn.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this episode now on Saturday and Sunday when I get to watch it again. Just this segment. No, I'm excited. I found out they're restarting a new Carnage series here in March. I don't have all the information, but I put it on my list, so I need it. I'm excited for obviously Flashpoint Beyond. Batman Beyond the White Knight. What else is coming out? Oh, the restarting of Noctera and the restarting of Something's Killing Children is coming out in March as well.
Nice.
And then the thing I'm most excited for comes out next week, and that is Saga.
Okay, so Jamie, so Saga is your number one pick.
Saga is my number one. Like it's really hard. Sonny, once you read it, you'll understand whenever you get to it. But
Sonny, would you please do a page by page read through,
camera
and everything?
I think we might get demonetized or like kicked off YouTube if we did that.
Panel by panel, buddy. I want to see it all.
Right. Oh, now I see why Jamie likes this. Okay, definitely.
The two televisions are going at it again.
Why is there a big alien thingy in this panel? Like, why is that Dr. Manhattan in the lower hemisphere? No.
I'm really looking forward to reading it.
Yes, it is very good. But yeah, no, those are my my picks.
Your top one was Saga. My top one was X-Men. Tim, would you say you have a number one that you're most excited for?
Amazing Spider-Man, obviously. Amazing Spider-Man? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that'll be my tops. Flashpoint is in there, but as far as the continuing series, if I had to choose a top for continuing, it's Dark Knights of Steel over Dark Ages.
Bold move there, Kimosabi.
Right?
Well, Tim, do you know?
Do I know? I think I do.
Do you know? And that you
are ladies and gentlemen, person. This is the part of the segment where Jamie just stops.
Oh, he lost the internet connection. Oh, too bad.
All right, well, it's down to me and you, Sonny.
I don't know. You got help.
Okay, we'll assume he gets a half point.
Yeah.
No half points this year.
No half points this year. Mine are all half point questions.
Uh-oh.
How are we ever going to do this?
Well, I got a 4-parter as my number one.
my number 3 is a multiple choice.
So for those of you keeping track at home,
I have no wins.
Sonny has 1 win. Sonny and I have a tie together, and Jamie has big fat 0.
Yes, so, I'm the Tim this year.
That's right. That's right. New year, new Tim. There we go. So, okay. So, you know? Yep, I got it right here. So,
are you sure?
Do I know? Yes. Am I sure? No. But I think you guys don't
True or
know.
False? No.
So, with Blackest Night being our review this week, which is an epic story, the character that I have for my first question is in Blackest Night. So, do you know what the first appearance of Jon Stewart is?
Because that's tricky though, because technically it was Green Lantern Corps at the time, but it was
first full appearance of Jon Stewart.
Yes, they had this thing where it was, so if you're looking at like the Guy Gardner and the like Kilowog and all that was part of the Green Lantern Corps, but it was still just considered Green Lantern. So right. I mean, I'm okay. So I just want to make sure as long as you say the issue, we're good.
Yeah, okay. I know that Green Lantern's title changed from Green Lantern to Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Green Lantern Corps, but it was still the same title. The numbering never changed. So first appearance of Jon Stewart.
182.
Okay.
I'll say Green Lantern 180.
You are both wrong. The first appearance of Jon Stewart is Green Lantern number 87, and that was December/January, end of 71, beginning of 1972.
Real fast, Kilowog ain't on that list, is he?
He sure is.
Oh, okay.
Do you know the answer to that one?
I think I do, but we'll wait till we get over there.
We'll get there. So yeah, no points for you guys. Jamie, you are next.
So guys, we all know Geoff Johns for Blackest Night and his amazing work on everything else in the DC world. But do you know what his first published comic was? And I'll make it easy on you guys because it's a lot to think about. It is a DC comic. He also created a character based on the comic that is actually big in continuity today. But I need the name of the actual issue.
Aztec number 1.
And I will say, would you say so? He created this character, or it's just whatever? What was his first?
What was his first? If you give me the character that you think he created, I'll give you the point still.
I'm just going to say Swamp Thing 80.
Okay, both of you are completely wrong. It was Stars and Stripe, and that was his first published comic. And the character that he created was Stargirl.
No kidding.
Yeah, and that was in 1996.
Okay. Interesting.
All
right, Sonny, we are batting 0 for 1,000 right now. What do you got?
I'm fine with that. We could tie 3 ways 0.
Right, so you guys do know Moon Knight, and I'm sure you know the first appearance, but do you know what year the first appearance of Moon Knight came out?
83.
No, it was in the 70s. It's 76.
Tim, you are 1 year off.
Yeah!
Moon Knight first appeared in Werewolf by Night, number 32, August 1975.
Son of a...
So close. It's still so far away.
I know.
All of us are still batting 0.
All right, so maybe this second round we'll get some points going here. So with another character that was in Blackest Night and had one of the coolest panels, big giant ones that I saw in the story. First appearance of Kilowog. Gentlemen, do you know what that is?
Sonny, go ahead, because I know this one.
All right, then I'll just say Green Lantern Corps, 182.
Jamie?
201.
Okay, yes, you are correct. Do you know the year for 0 points?
Give me a second. 86.
You are absolutely right. Yeah, June of 1986. Green Lantern Corps.
I had the issue.
201, June 1986, first appearance.
That was actually a find. I didn't think I'd actually. I went to
That's
a small
amazing.
convention, and some guy, I'm like, "Is that the first appearance of Kilowog?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "How much is he?" He's like, $10. And I looked at it. I was like, "Give me it."
I will take that.
That quick? And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I come to find out it's way more than that.
All right, Jamie, you're on the board. You're leading this pack with 1 point, good sir. Sonny, what do you got for us on round 2? Or no, Jamie. Jamie, go ahead.
Okay, so this is right out of Blackest Night. It has been referenced a few times, but do you know when a blue lantern is near a green lantern, what does the green lantern's ring power go up to? Automatically.
11.
This ain't a record play.
Oh.
So is it numbers or?
It's numbers. So like the Green Lantern's power ring goes up to 100%. It's based on 100% rating. What does it go up to?
87%.
When a green and a blue get together, what power level does it go up to? Right.
Yes.
I'll say 50%.
It is actually 200%. They give the Green Lanterns more power when they're near them.
Wow, that is amazing.
All right. So now we move on to me. All right, guys. So both of you talked about how you did watch the Peacemaker show. And Jamie mentioned how you loved that beginning. You loved the dance number.
I skipped it. I should have watched it probably all the way through because his question is going to be about the dance number.
So, not about the dance number, but about the song.
Yep, okay? I'm out.
Do you know which band sings the song?
I actually looked that up yesterday and I forgot.
Quiet Boys.
The Choir Boys, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yes, I will go with Jamie's answer, the Choir Boys.
Well, Jamie, it's one of my unknown bands that I'd listened to.
Bonfire.
I listened to a lot of unknown bands, but nope, it is a band, Wigwam.
We were wig wrong.
Yeah, so Wigwam sings the theme song. Do you really want to taste it?
Maybe. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to check my morals and standards, and I'll let you know. Probably not.
No. But now you know the band Wigwam, and they have a lot of good songs that I like. So it's nice to see one of my bands make it.
Round 3, gentlemen. Jamie is still leading with 1 point. Sonny, you and I are not even on the board yet. We need to change this. Jamie cannot win today. Okay, so third and final character that is in Blackest Night and has a fairly significant role in it. First appearance of Guy Gardner.
Go ahead, Sonny. I know this one too.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Green Lantern 20.
59.
Okay, Jamie, what about the year, good sir?
So 83.
No, you're wrong.
Green Lantern 59.
It is Green Lantern.
What year? I don't know what year is it?
1968.
Oh, okay.
Green Lantern Volume 2, number 59, came out in March 1968. That is.
I forgot that they had that dip
of Guy. All right, Jamie, your third and final. What do you got?
All right, guys. So there's a lot of lanterns in this. Different colors. I'm not going to ask how many colors there are because I think we already asked that question. But do you know who was the first human Red Lantern? And you can give me either his Red Lantern name or his human name.
So who's first Red Lantern?
Human Red Lantern.
Atrocitus. Red Lantern, I know.
Vin Diesel.
It is about family, but that is absolutely both wrong. His name was John Moore, and his Red Lantern name was Rancor. And he actually started a lot of the Red Lanterns. He saw his brother get killed basically in front of him. And as the Red Ring was coming down, it found him because he was the most angry at the time.
Wow.
And then he gave the likes of Dexter, the cat, Red Lantern, and then a bunch of others that were human.
Okay.
Today, Jamie's redemption. And now, the one who really got him last week. Jamie, you ready to face Sinestro once again?
Kruger. New Kruger.
Nope. Do you know the first appearance of Sinestro?
7.
What 7?
Yes.
Green Lantern 7.
Yeah, showcase number 7. Yes.
It is.
Is it showcase?
Wait. So what are you?
No, I didn't know. I'm just going Green Lantern.
You're saying Green Lantern? Tim, you're saying showcase?
Yeah.
It is Green Lantern number 7.
Jamie
redeems
stuck
himself.
with him.
Yeah, because
Jamie
7 is the first appearance of him. 9 is the first appearance of the Yellow Ring.
Jamie, you got every question right. Sonny, you and I didn't answer a single question correctly this week.
Yeah. So like
This was the Jamie show.
I was dude, I haven't looked at my notes one time. Like I have nothing in front of me. I'm just like, I'm trying to focus here because as soon as I look at those, I wouldn't remember a thing about Green Lantern again.
Wow. Okay. So that is a victory for Jamie, a victory for Sonny, and Sonny, you and I are tied for a victory. So
technically Sonny's in the lead right now.
Yeah. Well, good. No,
because
you and Sonny are tied because you each have a win, and then
but you guys
Sonny
have a win together.
Well, yeah, that's very true. So there you
Tim,
go.
Get it right, man. I'm gonna fire you too.
All right, Sonny, we're gonna renegotiate my contract.
As soon as Sonny fires you, it's official.
Uh oh. So yeah, Sonny, you're 2.
Tim, I'm taking my 10 out of 10 ratings from you. You know you're 10 out of 10.
No more.
You are not a 10 out of 10 anymore.
No more 10 out of 10s for a week.
Yeah, but yeah, it was good. Always fun doing Do You Knows. And now, do you know that it's time to review Green Lantern Blackest Night?
Yes. So, Green Lantern Blackest Night, one of the most epic major storylines in DC Comics history. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not read this, by all means, pause this episode, go read it, and then come back and listen to what we have to say, because it's amazing and it has lasting effects to this day on DC Comics. So First off is the creative team, and writer obviously is Geoff Johns. Artwork goes to Ivan Rice. Inks go to Eau Claire Albert, and colors to Alex Sinclair. Now, doing kind of a recap for the story. So basically, this is like not too long after, and Jamie, correct me if I'm wrong, but not too long after Hal Jordan had stopped being the Spectre and had come back into the role of Green Lantern. Is that right? It wasn't too far away from that.
You're only 55 issues difference.
Right, but in the time frame of
if the time frame of what goes into what, him coming back is after that, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't too far away from that. So basically you've got a lot of corruption and differences going on Oa, and the Guardians, or whatever they're called, have kept certain information from Lanterns, but you have the Black Lantern, Necron, or whatever his name is, that is coming forward. The Black Hand is coming in, and characters, heroes and villains, are getting these black rings and rising from the grave and attacking. Aquaman being one of them. He was dead at this time. Maxwell Lord was dead at this time. Who else had died? There's several other characters. Right.
Man. Yeah.
It just goes from there. And I love that the story focused more on Green Lantern, obviously Hal Jordan as the main character, but Mara played a significant role. Ray Palmer, the Atom, played a huge part in this. The Flash was a major actor in this. And Jamie, I even said this to you. I love the fact that they really pulled back on Superman and Wonder Woman and let some of these other characters really have their moment to shine that usually don't. And that scene with Hawkman and Hawkgirl, holy smokes. That was one of the most heartbreaking and epic scenes I had read in a comic book in a long time. So
you talked the one from the first issue, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like when Ray Palmer's talking to him on the phone, and it just, it's bad. But so to give my rating on this, the writing for Geoff Johns, top notch, 10 out of 10. That goes without saying. This is 8 issues, and it is unreal. And the action, like as soon as it gets going in the first issue, it does not stop, and it just terrorizes. And even the Annie monitor, like this is kind of giving it away a little bit, but like at the end, they're working on trying to do the white light, the White Lantern, the essence of life itself. And Sinestro dives in there and he's like, I've got it. It's my time to take care of business. I'm going to do this. I'm saving I'm saving the universe. And the one Guardian is like, nope, he's not going to, because it's more about him than it is about everybody else. So he's not going to do that. That was epic too. And when Lex Luthor got the orange, it
was ring, perfect.
Dude,
mine.
Mara got rage. She got the red ring, and she's fighting Wonder Woman, who currently is a Black Lantern at this time. And Luthor comes in there decked out in orange and all this stuff, and he's like, I want it all. I want all your rings. Give them to me. And it was just unbelievable. So yeah, writing 10 out of 10. Artwork is a straight 9 out of 10. Overall is a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
All right. And now I'll go to me. And this is one like I read years ago, but when I first read it, I didn't have all the comic knowledge I've had of all these characters. Now I have even more. So it was nice to revisit it. And then Jamie, you recommended some good tie-in stories. So I was reading some of the Green Lantern Corps, read the Blackest Night Batman 3-part series that went along with it. But yeah, reading it, and Tim, you did a great job talking us through it. So I don't want to basically repeat you, but yeah, I love, obviously this story, like we said, is one of the biggest stories in DC history. And, it was pretty cool to see all the characters dead, and they did a good way of bringing them back. And you introduced like Black Hand, a good villain. We also got to see Necron, another good one there too.
I love the twist about the resurrected characters too. The Black Rings counted them as dead, and they went after them, and that's why it was chasing the Flash and Hal Jordan around and took over Superman and Wonder Woman. Amazing.
Yeah, and two, I'd say the artwork. I would say it was for me. I think some of the best artwork I've seen in any comic, and I'm glad they have it in paperback form. I'm sure online still looks very nice, but some of the images, like you were saying, especially when they have like a big, like here's one of the Spectre out there. You see
Yes.
some really nice ones, even too at the end. And later on, there's a lot of big ones. Yeah, like here we go, some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some more of the artwork, yes. So
Good old Copperhead.
Yeah, some of the best artwork I would say that I've ever seen. And my one little critique is, I have mentioned this before, I don't really like when superheroes, we know that there's huge characters and then it seems like they get beat or almost killed rather quickly. Like I'm like, oh, they didn't last long. I'm like, if it was a different writer or somebody, this character, they'd be making it last a bit longer. Like I said, I really like the Hawkman, Hawkgirl scene I like, but I was like, I don't really think they'd go down that fast. So that's the one thing with me. Always, and I feel like certain characters get beat too quick. But other than that, like I said, I love the story. It's like I said, an epic event. Like you said, you got all the all-stars in there. But one thing you made a good point, Tim, is I like that it focused more, like I said, it wasn't Superman saving the day, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It was Green Lantern, like I said, Green Lantern, Flash, the Atom. So that I really liked. It was nice to see Hal Jordan take the lead. Like, okay, good, they're not the same characters. And
yeah, a lot of characters that you see as super supporting characters really took the spotlight this time around. Flash is a major player, but he's not an A-lister. You know what I mean? People can argue with me on that all day long, but he's a high B+ lister.
Did you just say Flash is an A-list player?
He's not an A-list character.
I'm gonna edit that part out just in case our friend's dad sees this. He's gonna punch the screen.
When you think of DC Comics, what are the first three characters you think of? Superman,
Green Lantern,
Batman,
Flash,
and
and Superman.
Woman. You're different. You're an exception to the rule.
Okay.
I mean, I still would say he's an A-list character, but I do think the three of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. But like I said, still, those are the three who seem to constantly take the lead on all these big stories. So it was nice, like I said, to see Green Lantern and Flash and them take it. And like I said, it was huge. Like I said, still an impact to this day. And I said, it truly is what you would call an epic story, an epic event, an epic story. One of the ones a must read, especially if you're a DC fan.
Oh, yeah.
But for me, Tim, I'm going to think like you. I was like, story. I was giving a story more of a 9. I remember reading it, just obviously really enjoyed it. But I was like, this is the best written. But artwork for me was more on the 10. But then I'm like, okay, there's more to it. Like I said, it has a legendary, long-lasting effect. So it isn't, for me, I go past the 9.5 and I say 9.8.
Interesting.
Green
Right
Lantern,
on.
Blackest Night.
Because you're right there.
I'm right there. So just the one little thing was when I felt characters get beat too fast. Is my one little critique. So 9.8 for Green Lantern, Blackest Night from me.
That's very respectful. Right on.
All right. So I have 2 scores because I'm the crazy one that read all the tie-ins and bought them all. And I read the 8 issues. I read the 8 issues. That's the one comic I will read yearly. And that's what I want to do because I need an excuse to read it again.
No problem with that. No problem.
Yeah,
with that.
exactly. Nope. But yeah, so for a lot of people that don't know, all the big hitters were gone. Especially if you read Justice League of America at that time, it was the second tier characters that became the characters. So you had Donna Troy as Wonder Woman. I think it was Connor as Superman, so on and so forth. Dick Grayson was Batman, all that. So there's a long period of time where we didn't have those characters, and them to come back and Blackest Night be resurrected and, go into Brightest Day, which is a whole different ball game. Was great to see. It was a good way to bring them back. It didn't feel like most times when you do a reboot of something, you feel like it was forced. This didn't feel forced. This felt planned out for a long time. Like they nailed it down and wanted to work on this. Like Sonny read Batman. You've seen the struggle of Dick Grayson being Batman, after he left, trying to work with Damian. So like you've seen more in those tie-ins that actually were tie-ins. Like it was the first event that I've ever read fully, and I've read a lot of events fully because of this, that actually each tie-in mattered.
Like all those singular issues that came out for Blackest Day for long dead titles and things like that.
Yes, everybody that had like Brightest Day or Blackest Night, each issue mattered because it was something that was going along. Like if you saw a panel of one character and then that character like left, that panel started one of their books.
Interesting.
Or was like a lead into one of their books. It was the same thing. It wasn't, I think they tried to do the same thing with Forever Evil. They did the same thing. It worked, but it didn't work as well. But yeah, no, I love the story. I love all like each character that they gave a ring to matched them perfectly. You know, giving Flash the Blue Lantern. You got Lex Luthor as orange. Mara is red. It just, and my favorite, the Indigo Lanterns that can't speak any type of language, knock, and then that's it.
What did she say? Oh, she said this.
Yeah. It, to me, if I had to give just the 8 issues a grade, I would be at 9.9. Like my biggest problem with that is I felt like they should have left the main character out. At least one. Yes, I felt like
specific.
No, I mean it could have been any heavy hitter, and I would have been okay with it. Like have one of them go down. I felt like that was just the ploy. Like it was a great plan to keep everybody, to bring everyone back. But you have to have a heartbreak in bringing people back.
Yeah.
And we didn't. We just got everybody. They're like, have fun, and here's the gameplay. You got all the characters now. If they would have left out like. If they were like, hey, we got everyone but Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think that would have changed DC universe? You know what I mean? How much of a scale would it tipped?
Right. Very true.
So that was my thing. It was 9.9. If you add tie-ins, it's perfect time. But yeah, I felt like they needed to leave out a heavy hitter, or at least somebody that tugs on the heartstrings. Like if they would have went like they killed Dick Grayson and Bruce came back as Batman, that would have been even better too.
They can't get rid of somebody that big though, or at least not for too
long. I would have been, yeah, but it still would have been like, okay, that pulled on the heartstrings. Like, not everyone escaped is my point. Like,
right. Yeah.
So yeah, those are my ratings. Like I said, Sonny's got a good point with everybody, they got taken out too soon, but I think if they would have kept one big person gone, they're not big as in the sense of like the big 3 or the Trinity. I'm talking like somebody that was a character, a beloved character, didn't have to be someone that had their own book.
Bizarro.
It could have been, you could have had honestly left out like Aqualad or something.
Yeah, very true.
Everyone lived, but Aqualad stayed dead.
Yeah. You stayed, or like,
funny, yeah. Always stayed dead.
Like Roy Harper, he part of, what was it? This came out. It was DC 6-issue thing they just did. DC Infinite. He was dead for a while, and then a Black Lantern ring came back and brought him back to life.
Oh wow!
Like that's the first time we've seen a Black Lantern ring since this point, besides Death Metal, I think.
See, and that's a series I still have to read too.
That'd be a pretty funny image if we had like all the characters like live and you just see one is still laying there dead.
Yeah. That would have been the best thing ever. Like, it's just Roy Harper. Like, you should have. This is why you don't do needles in the arms, guys. Like,
oh my God.
This is what happens.
When you get resurrected, you stay dead. You're the one who stays dead. Yeah, an epic story. And even like I said, some of the tie-ins. I liked reading like this time around with some of the tie-ins. I believe it was Green Lantern Corps, I think for number 1.
Tales of the Green Lantern Corps.
Tales of the Green Lantern Corps. Thank you. And it was it gave the origin story of Black Hand, and it really made me a lot bigger of a fan of him. Like, okay, now the story means more, knowing his story. And
the family in that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Oh my God.
Yeah. Yes.
I have no
Haney,
idea what you're talking
it's a
about.
good one to
Read it.
check out. Yeah. And then too, also one of the, I believe it was, I think, or was that one Green Lantern 43 and Tales of the Green Lantern Corps? Or one of them was, I'm
Yeah, it
getting
was
the two
one of
mixed up. So I think the Black Hand story might have been Green Lantern 43 and the Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, just multiple. And one of the guys' story, I like Saint
Makes sense.
Walker. So seeing Saint Walker in the story with the blue ring, like he, in the actual story, the 8 issues, he didn't have much of a part. But when I seen him after reading that, I was like, there's Saint
There's
Walker.
our guy.
That was weird. Yeah.
That's
There's a
the
guy.
one
He
we
doesn't
need.
have much to say, but when you read some of those tie-ins, everybody, has a story behind him, and then it makes the story even mean a lot more.
Real fast fun fact, he's been gone since then. No one can find him. Like everyone's like, oh, I wish Saint Walker was here. And they're like, yeah, we still haven't found him.
Hashtag bring back, hashtag find Saint Walker.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, but guys, so there we go. Green Lantern Blackest Night. Tim, you say 9.5.
Yep. 9.5.
I say 9.8. And Jamie, you say 10 out of 10.
Yeah, we're going 10 out of 10.
You
I was
say
gonna
10
I
because
was
you
like
know the
9.9 and I'm
tie-ins.
like, yeah, I read 10 out of 10.
You know the time. So Jamie gives a 10 out of 10. And now I give you guys my next pick, which is I will take things over for the first time this year. I'll take things over to the Marvel side and bringing you back to 1973. Bring you back to
yay,
1973.
narration bubbles.
The Avengers Defenders War.
Okay.
I'm curious about this. I've never read it or heard about it, so I'm very curious.
I'm interested to see what you guys think. I'll just let you guys see it and check it out, and I'll let you guys know like the issues, because there's one issue, because I have the book, the trade. One of them, it's like, it's part from this issue. So I'll say, like, you don't have to read the full thing.
I'll read whatever you guys, it is. Whatever book you got, I'll read it.
Cool. So there you go. We'll probably do that maybe in like 2 weeks or something.
Okay.
Check if it's like 7 issues. And then next week, we'll probably have like a single issue, something like that.
Right. Like your normal.
Yeah, but everyone, a great episode comes to an end. But there's a part I wanted to read to from Blackest Night that I thought was very interesting, and it was from Barbara Gordon. Well, Barbara Gordon was saying it. She's talking to her dad, and she says, Commissioner Gordon, and she says, when I was in physical therapy, there was a sign on the gym wall. It read, no matter how dark the night gets, the sun still rises in the morning. Every day I'd wake up 2 hours before dawn. Back then, it'd take me that long to get into my chair, clean up, and go outside to watch the sunrise, but I did it, and I still do it. I love life, Dad. I love every single day. And I like that part. I thought that part was very good. Wanted to mention that it was something inspirational. I always like those parts when you have all this chaos going on, and you still have a nice moment that has inspiration and some hope.
Right.
So absolutely.
That's the last I'll talk about that Green Lantern Blackest Night book. Jamie, I'll let you take it away. I'll let you read it a million times, but I'm sure one day I will revisit this one again, because it is a classic.
Oh yeah, that's like I said, I think that's the only one that I actually truly revisit every single time I get a chance to.
And with that, well, guys, we will be visiting or having another show next week. So with that, we can conclude episode 31 of the Codex Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sonny Kruger. Take care, and I'll let Jamie and Tim finish this thing off.
If you could speak, we'd be doing so much better today. No,
next episode.
No, next episode I'll learn to speak. But no, guys, as always, be kind to one another. Love every single one of you that have, shared, comment, like, subscribe so far, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any more of the content we're putting out, because we got some great interviews with some great creators. As always, Sonny's doing his hair, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Once again, guys, don't forget to check us out on social media. That is Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, right here on Twitch. And you can also find us on all of the podcast platforms. That would be iTunes, Spotify, and so much more. All you have to do is type in The Codex Podcast or Codex Podcast, and you will find us there. If you don't follow us on Twitter, please give us a follow. Make sure to give us a follow on Instagram. Also, we have all kinds of other information, and you can see when different episodes for Decoding Panels or the podcast or the Breaking the Codes or one-shots come out. Once again, guys, my name is Tim. You have a good one.